From historic Doyle Field in Leominster, we welcome you to Championship Baseball right here on RFM as the season continues to turn to the postseason action. It's MIAA tournament action in Division 2 right here on RFM. It's the round of 32 commencing today in Division 2, and we've got a dandy of a matchup for you. As second overall seed in Division 2, Leominster brings their 18-1 record and their newly crowned Central Mass Championship to home field for today's action. They host the 31 seed Silver Lake Regional from Kingston, Massachusetts, and their 10-11 overall record. 31 overall into the action tonight. It's Blue Devils and Lakers, and we've got the action for you. Great to have you along with us, whether you're streaming on YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch. We say a very good evening to you on this blustery, chilly evening here at Doyle Field. It feels a little bit like this is the way the baseball season has gone in calendar year 2023. Great to have you along with us here on RFM. Alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins. Great to have you with us here on the mediums of RFM this evening. Let's look at the road to the postseason for these two teams. Power ratings seeded just a week and a half ago. Both teams come into this postseason. Leominster, we mentioned, their 18-1 record. They were seeded as a 17-1 team as the Samada Tournament Championship was outside of the round for power ratings. Their average margin of victory, 2.61. Their opponent rating, 2.695, so call it 2.70 on the rounding, and their overall rating of a 5.3068. Good enough for second overall. Top seed in Division 2, Milton, 17-3 was their record, a 2.7 average margin. Their opponent rating, 2.776. Their average rating, 5.4767. And that is how Milton edges Leominster mathematically to be the number one overall seed. But honestly, number one or number two doesn't differentiate all that much in this postseason, as you've got home field guaranteed all the way to the Final Four, which we are understanding will be at a neutral site at this point. And of course, this is the beginning of the road to Polar Park, as the championship in Divisions 1 through 5 will all be held at Polar Park in Worcester, home of the AAA Worcester Red Sox. For Silver Lake Regional, 31 seed overall, 9-11 was their seeding number. Their average margin of victory was negative 0.55. Their opponent rating, though, 2.165 for an overall rating of 1.6150. So when you look at the bracket, which you've been staring at on screen, we're looking at the northeast region of this 32-team bracket. Silver Lake Regional, the 31 overall seed, had to play the 34 overall seed Danvers in the preliminary round in that play-in game. Silver Lake, a 2-1 win over Danvers to advance to the round of 32. Remember, in all sports other than football, it's the top 32 teams must have a 500 or better record, and if you do have a 500 or better record, they will slide people around, move them up in order to make sure that teams with 500 or better records qualify. If there are more than 32 teams that meet that standard, then you have play-in matchups, of which here in Division 2 there were a handful, and Silver Lake competed in one of those to get their way to Doyle Field. And as I welcome in the broadcast team, turn to my broadcast partner, Bill Thomas, first. Billy, there's always that sort of debate. Are you better off playing the extra game, or are you not? Leominster has proved in years past in other sports that preliminary round can be a chance to get some momentum going coming into the round of 32, and that the seeded teams that don't have to play in the preliminary round sometimes can get a little flat-footed. In the case of Leominster playing in that Central Mass Championship last week, they were in a circumstance where they actually could use the layoff in order to prepare themselves and make sure that everyone was healthy and everyone was ready to go for action tonight.
Yeah, Todd, you must have been reading my mind, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Maybe in a season where you don't make the finals of the Samada tournament, you might want to, not have that long layoff. But, and that happened to Leominster last year. They lost early, I think, first round of Samada, and they didn't go very far in the States. So I think they found a way to stay sharp is what I'm going to guess. I know we had heard right after the game in Worcester that they had a couple scrimmages scheduled, and after what happened to Angel Baez, I think Coach Barnaby was happy to have some time off to rest his horse, and he's going tonight, so I think it's going to be time well served.
I think that answers the question. Is Angel Baez fully joy and ready for action? He's a starter in the round of 32 tonight in this matchup of Leominster and Silver Lake. Third member of the broadcast team, Kate Robbins. And Kate, here we go. Leominster and Silver Lake coming up. First pitch scheduled for 6:30. We'll join the introductions here with public address announcer Dick Tucker in a matter of moments. But Kate, let's talk a little bit about the situation for Leominster. You're winners of 10 in a row.
Yeah.
Your season has gone phenomenally well.
Yes.
The one thing we said is avoid catastrophic injury. They came within a hair's breadth of not meeting that standard with the injury to Angel Baez, taking him out of the game in the Central Mass title game. But they are here. They are joy. They've had a few days off. Had a little scrimmage in there as well. They are as prepared and as battle-tested as a 2 overall seed can be to welcome the 31 in Silver Lake here at home field.
Well, the hope is that Leominster has had enough hiccups in this season already. It's not as if they've gotten to a one-loss season with ease. There have been games they've been behind. There are games that they've had to go to extra innings. There are games where, as we said, they were a hair's breadth away from catastrophic injury. There we go. And so they've had to work to get exactly where they are. So the concern with a game like this, when you're going up against a team that on paper you should take care of, with relative ease. Situation here is that Leominster, I hope, because they've been so battle tested, is not going to look beyond anybody, and that's exactly what you want. You want them to be as hungry as they have been in the Central Mass tournament, not to look beyond. Could this be the first of a 2-week run where they continue to play game after game after game and get to a very special end at Polar Park? Yes, it could. But they could just as easily trip up tonight and their season could be over. They cannot look beyond, especially considering with a lot of these Eastern Mass teams, you don't know what you're getting in your opponent. And you take a look at some of these brackets, especially in the play-in games or even in this first round of 32, some Central Mass teams have tripped up and they've been beaten by much lesser opponents in the rating scales. So Central and Western Mass teams have to take a little bit of pause just to make sure they get the business done in order to get to the next round.
National anthem is on deck, but Bill Thomas, I'm going to kick it to you quickly. We're going to pick up on what Kate was talking about because Coach Rich Barnaby has said this to us a number of times. In the postseason, it's all about if you catch a hot pitcher, if you catch a hot team offensively, all of a sudden you find yourself in that quicksand. You can find yourself on the wrong end and on your way home very quickly, regardless of whether you're the 1-2 or whether you're the 15-16 or whether you're 31 through 32.
Absolutely, Todd. And I think this is the one sport that we do, team sport, where one player can really make a difference. Football, basketball, hockey, run into a hot goalie, but you run into a hot pitcher, and he's on, and it's a pitcher-catcher playing catch, and next thing you know, you're going home.
It's the Blue Devils and the Lakers. The 2-seed Leominster, the 31-seed Silver Lake. First pitch comes up. The winner of this round of 32 matchup to the Sweet 16 and getting a winner of Mansfield and Westboro later on this week. Time now for the national anthem here at Doyle Field, and then it's first pitch of Leominster and Silver Lake. We join the public address system here at Doyle Field for tonight's national anthem. Was it just me, or did it seem like during that national anthem the wind started to pick up here at historic Doyle Field tonight? First pitch temperature will be somewhere around 60, but feel like the upper 50s. Chance of rain enters the forecast somewhere around 10 o'clock this evening. See how that plays into action ahead. Let's meet the starting lineups for Coach Bob Savoy's Silver Lake Lakers. The 1 through 9 submitted as follows. Shane Hackett, the center fielder, will bat lead off. Jack Quigley will play short, bat second. Nick Peterson does the catching, bats third. Colin Montero plays third base, bats in the cleanup spot. Connor Finns, the first baseman, he'll bat fifth. Steve Nista, the right fielder, will bat sixth. Wes Hawley, the designated hitter, he'll bat seventh. Anthony Mealy plays second base, bats eighth. And Mike Villanova plays left field and bats ninth. Ben Shao is the pitcher of record for Coach Savoy. He will not hit in this lineup. Defensive alignment for Leominster this evening. Left to right across the outfield, it's Tom Gosson, Reese Laura, and Tyler Godin. Right to left across the infield, or from first to third, it's Jake Richard, Alex Aquendo, Nick Massa, and Tony Savatelli. Zach Casey does the catching for Leominster's starter, Angel Baez. Baez comes in with 47 2/3 innings pitched and a 5-0 record. He's surrendered 33 hits against 50 strikeouts and just 11 walks. He's left 33 on base to match the 33 hits he has surrendered. Baez's ERA coming into tonight, 1.028. His whip, 0.923. And with that, warm-up pitches going on. Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, rejoin me here, and here we go. Leominster and Silver Lake. Final thoughts here, Billy. Your first crack at it.
Well, first off, it's good to see Angel Baez on the mound. You know, scary situation at Tidman Field the other night. He did get up, go off under his own power, and we talked to him after the game. He said he was all right, but you never know the next day. Adrenaline and everything, going on that night. And all I can say is I'm sure more grateful than me is Coach Barnaby to see him out on the mound, and we'll leave it at that.
No question about it. Kate, last thoughts here. Leominster and Silver Lake. Silver Lake had the long ride. Kingston's just north of Plymouth, so you're talking a 2.5-hour ride probably by school bus to get here. They were here plenty early. They've had time to take a full warm-up. They've got the long ride and, of course, the long road to hoe, starting the preliminary round and moving forward.
That's right. If you're Leominster in this one, you want to essentially come out and make a statement. Defensively here in the top, offensively in the bottom. Leominster sometimes takes a little bit of time to wake up defensively and really get into the ball game, particularly in the infield from time to time, not always. I want to see him coming out firing on all cylinders. This should be a statement-making game.
And it's time for that to end. Round of 32, the MIAA postseason Division II baseball tournament is about to get underway. Angel Baez ready at the chest, full windup, and the pitch. It's a fastball called strike on the outside corner by Owen Napolitano, our plate umpire, and we are underway at 6:30 p.m. on the nose.
Right on
Timely.
time.
Indeed
like
we
that.
are. Baez right back at it with the 0-1, misses inside to the leadoff batter Hackett, who's got a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
There's nothing better than timeliness.
Here comes the 1-1 from Baez. Fastball hit on the ground. Richard moves to his right, makes the backhand play center mass, and then beats Hackett to first for a 3 unassisted for out number 1.
Nice 2-bouncer there. Came right up. Room service, as we like to call it. Nice, easy out. Like to see a nice 1-2-3 inning here and get the Blue Devils off on the right foot and come up offensively and do some damage early.
Jack Quigley, the shortstop, a left-handed hitter for Baez here early in the order with 1 out. Breaking ball floated wide, and it's a 1-0 count to Quigley. For those of you joining us tonight for the first time, say from the Kingston area here on RFM, first, welcome to the party. Here comes the 1-0 from Baez, down and in and through the glove of Casey to the backstop, and the count's 2-0. If you're joining us for an RFM baseball broadcast, 2 stationary cameras. We've got the home plate view looking back up the middle of the field. Got a high, wide angle just above home plate to give you the rest as the 2-0 pitch is a breaking ball called strike, and the count is 2-1 to Quigley. Everything in between, we are an award-winning radio broadcast, so this is radio with pictures, as the case may be. 2-1 breaking ball swung on. Quigley hit back up the middle. Oquendo moves to his right, fields the middle of a body, and cross the diamond. He will make the play for out number 2, and it's a 4-3 put out.
2 easy ground balls right there, the right side of the infield. See if we can get this third one. Go 1, 2, 3. Dangerous hitter right here, catcher, and he's built like a catcher too. Number 3 hitter. Got some power in that upper body for sure.
Say heavy forearms, an imposing presence is Nick Peterson. First pitch, where's it?
Flinch.
And to the base he goes. He goes, okay, I can do that.
Where's it like a catcher? Let's add
Indeed
that
he does.
in there too. Doesn't even flinch.
And so Peterson, a 2-out base runner for the Lakers. And that brings Montero to the plate. The third baseman bats cleanup. 2 outs here and a base runner for the Lakers in the top of the first. Baez moves to the stretch, the pitch. Fastball outside corner, counts 0-1.
Have to see if Angel can bounce right back here. Hate to see a 2-out base runner, especially early in the game here.
Sneaks a peek at Peterson, now the 0-1. Fastball down and away, count 1 ball and 1 strike. Peterson's got a pretty full lead over at first base there for the 3-hole hitter.
He's got legs that tell me he's not all that fast, though. But we'll be interested
Pickoff
to see.
move and wide of first, and Richard has to give up the bag to keep the ball in the infield.
Something tells me they know the book on Angel Baez. Number of pickoffs, if you're not familiar. I think we've witnessed at least 4 in the games we've done.
Cut on and miss. Casey, the snap throw, not in time. 1 ball, 2 strike count at the plate as Montero offered to protect the base runner.
Blue Devils showing you're going to take liberties on the base pass. We're going to challenge you.
The great thing, though, the lead has not been
It has not.
exorbitant by any stretch of the imagination.
And Peterson has not diminished either. Pickoff attempt here and wide once again. Sends the base coach to the turf as well.
And, you wonder, with 2 outs here, it's a 50-50 or
after
less
the
that we're going to have a
bag.
stolen base here. But let's get the out at home.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Base runner here, top of the first inning. The 1-2 misses upstairs, levels the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, a little more concentration on the batter here, for Angel Baez here, and takes care of business here, and don't have to worry about that base runner.
Deuces are wild, though.
Indeed they are. 2-2 with 2. Cut on and missed. It is a dropped third strike. Casey up with it, and he will nip Montero to confirm the strikeout and end the threat in the top of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Strand 1 in the top of the first inning for the Lakers. And through 1/2 inning, it's Leominster nothing and Silver Lake nothing. We head to the bottom half of the first inning. And this is the lineup that Coach Rich Barnaby has submitted 1 through 9 for his Leominster Blue Devils. Jake Richard bats leadoff, plays first base. Tom Gosson, left fielder, bats second. Nick Massa, the shortstop, will bat third. Tony Savatelli plays third, bats fourth. Angel Baez, the pitcher, will bat for himself out of the 5-hole. Tyler Godin plays right field, bats sixth. Highest batting average on the team, still running for Tyler Godin. Zach Casey does the catching, bats 7th. Mark Garner in his 11th start. And, of course, not just his 11th start, but as the freshman on fire through 11 as the number 1 overall pitcher for Silver Lake.
Be interesting to see here if the Blue Devils can generate some early offense.
That has been a situation for Leominster where there have been some games, absolutely, they come firing out at all cylinders, and then there are others where there may be a bit of a struggle.
Wait until they got around to the bottom of the order in some of the games, and that's really when the fire's been lit, and we'll have to see if the top of the order can do some table setting for the bottom of the order tonight.
And that will be the question as innings 2 and 3 in particular, where Leominster has done a lot of damage in past games. Shao warming up. And now here comes the leadoff for Leominster. Jake Richard, the first baseman. Richard Bill Thomas in that Central Mass Championship game last week had a phenomenal performance. Had a little bit of everything. Had some base hits, got hit by pitches. The most important thing is he comes around and scores consistently.
Yeah, he's done a good job out of the leadoff spot.
As he
finding his way on base very consistently, which you got to do.
First pitch from Shao is a ball up and in, and the count goes to 1-0. Richard's batting .397. His on-base percentage, .455. He's slugging .500. As he sees the 1-0 inside, count goes to 2-0.
You know, in the Samata Championship game the other night, he struggled the first 2 at-bats, but found his way with 3 singles after that, had 3 runs scored, so he really turned it around after those 2 struggling at-bats to start the game.
Shao gets a called strike, and it's 2 balls and a strike to Richard. Team ERA for Silver Lake, .424. Coming into this one.
Shao, tall, lanky, right-hander, big leg kick.
His 2-1 missed, and the count goes to 3-1. Works from the full stretch. Hands at the waist, 3-1 pitch, fastball hit on the ground to the right side. Great backhand stab made by Finn to his feet. He scrambles and beats Richard at first.
Great job right there. Ranged about as far as he could, planted himself. Nice backhand hop right into his glove.
How about matching 3 unassisteds in the top of and bottom of the first?
Start the game, exactly.
Right side of the field almost exclusively.
Yeah, for both.
Far.
Which, Kate, does that surprise you that batters are trailing pitchers this much now that we've reached the postseason?
Not necessarily. I mean, with Angel Bias, he tends to be a power pitcher, and right now you're seeing that from Shao as well a little bit. So especially as you're getting things going, there's a lot of kind of the feeling out process hath begun. It's you're feeling each other out. It's kind of like a first date out there right now, trying to get to know each other a little bit. You'll start seeing the left side of the ballpark used eventually here, but first inning, not surprising.
First 2 pitches to Gossin, 1 each, 1 ball and 1 strike. Gossin batting .328, his on-base percentage .394. He's slugging .344.
I will also add that at this level, these batters are talented enough to go with those pitches, especially on the outside. You don't see a lot of people trying to pull an outside pitch. So if it's going to be outside, you go with that pitch. You're seeing that happen right now. Not a lot of work on the inside of the plate, except for Baez hitting a batter.
Shao's 2-1, inside out and out of play by Gossin, and a count level 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I think a good point, Kate. You know, if your pitcher's got halfway decent control, you work the outer half, and you force the batter to go.
And Gossin struggles, waves at that one, and it's a strikeout.
He's not high on the leg, but he's got a little twist. Be interesting to see how he alters that when he has to pitch out of the stretch and got to come up straight with that leg. But yeah, he's got a twist, and he just kind of uncoils, and here it comes. And Gossin couldn't catch up with that one.
And Nick Massa comes to the plate, batting .327. His on-base percentage .493. He's slugging .436. 2 outs here, and first pitch strike from Shao to Massa. And the count is 0-1.
Thus far in the early going, Shao has been pretty impressive out there.
Throwing a lot of strikes.
0-1 from Shao, breaking ball. Just misses the lower part of the zone. Count 1 ball,
really
1 strike.
Really trying to work that low end of the zone tonight, trying to find his way around. It's kind of like feeling your way out in the dark. Takes a little time.
1-1 with 2. Misses down and in. 2 balls and a strike. And Kate, of course,
trying to find out what Napolitano will give him down.
Well, there is that, but also I would say more good things happen for pitchers, even if the ball gets put in play, for balls knees down.
Correct.
Than balls that are waist up.
Correct.
2-1, waved at and missed wildly by Massa, and it's a 2-2 count.
Yeah, to your point, Todd, easier to keep the ball in the ballpark when you're pitching from the waist down instead of the waist up, because with the way the wind's swirling, all the flags just hanging, all of a sudden, nice, quiet evening here tonight.
Talking about exit trajectory, everybody.
2-2, and Massa takes that one out of playable territory, foul down the first base line.
Headed towards the clubhouse.
I was going to say, on a bullet. And it's 2-2 with 2 still. Bottom of the first inning, scoreless. Leominster and Silver Lake, the 2:31 matchup in the round of 32 in Division 2. Shao's 2-2 pitch. Inside
right
out
side,
foul again.
Right side.
I was going to say, at this point, the right side of the field. So center field, right field, second base, first base.
The camera to that side.
Generally should be prepared for
we
what's coming in their direction.
we haven't even had a foul ball to the left side. Never mind anything put in play over there yet. They're
Coach
still
Barnaby's
early.
going to be able to take a nap over on the third base coach.
Shao ready in the glove, got the signal he wants. And here comes another 2-2 pitch.
Oh, that was good.
Missed outside, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Hit the mitt. Looked like the mitt was set up out there, though. Good call. Good take right there.
See if maybe you can catch Massa reaching a little bit there.
Could be. I mean, he's been looking outside. Maybe you can get him reach for one he can't get at.
Payoff pitch, hit on the ground toward third base. Bobbled at third by Montero. Recovers, throws wide of first. And that is going to be an E5 to keep the inning alive for Leominster.
Heads up play there by the catcher, hustling down the line. You know, a lot of times catcher doesn't get involved in those plays. Probably 9 out of 10, or maybe not in the entire game. But part of the job, he got down there, probably saving an extra base by being there the backup.
And that brings Tony Savatelli to the plate, whose batting average has slowly crept up here through the second half of the season and into, of course, the tournament part of the Central Mass schedule. Now batting .333, a .452 on-base percentage, and he's slugging .632.
Have to see if
conversation going on with the umpire.
Base umpire came running in
the dugout.
We need a trainer.
And they are looking for a trainer.
First baseman on the elbow. First baseman on the elbow.
Reaching for that high throw. I wonder if there was some contact. Yeah, but now we see him rubbing his elbow down there.
And so that will delay action here.
Get a look at it.
2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Leominster, half of this inning continues on an error at third base. You probably could have lived with the bobbled ball and said you got an infield single, but then the throw wildly wide at first base.
I mean, I think that was, I don't know if he was going to beat that out, but as soon as he bobbled it, you know, E5 right there. Could have been compounded, Todd, you're right, but that's Connor Finn down there that the trainer's looking at first base. Hopefully he'll be okay, just maybe a little strain, and break out that cold spray or some ice, get some ice ready between innings for him.
Finn went full starfish trying to catch that one.
Yeah,
all the appendages went out to try to find the catch.
I'm not sure if there was some type of maybe a collision, an arm-to-arm collision that might have tweaked it, but he definitely reached with everything he had.
So
all right, he's in the game. He's sticking around.
He's sticking around.
Good to see.
Nick Massa stays on at first. 2 outs. Error now showing on the board here at the building. Bottom of the first. And Savatelli settles into the right-handed box, and Shao into the stretch for the first time tonight. Pitch to Savatelli. Outside, count 1-0. It'll be interesting to see if Savatelli gets anything to look at here in his first at-bat.
You know, the Lakers got themselves a 2-out base runner in the first with that hit by pitch. Couldn't take advantage of it. Have to see if the Blue Devils can take advantage of this error. The bottom of the first, 2-out error. Try to push something across early.
A casual throw over to first, and Massa back in plenty of time. Count 1-0 to Savatelli, but Massa at first and 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Savatelli.
That's a big hack.
Yeah, takes a big hack and waves that futilely. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You can tell when he wants more than a single. When he's going for multiple bases.
He's going to go to right field. He's going to make sure he gets all of it.
You can tell when he wants more than a single.
Shao ready at the chin, 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Savatelli takes this one to right center field. Drifting over is Nista, and he settles in and makes the catch to end the inning. So a little excitement with 2 outs. Massa reaches for Leominster, but still, despite the excitement, same result in the bottom of the first. This one for Leominster. No runs on no hits, no error, 1 error, and 1 stranded. So it's no runs, no hits, 1 error, strand 1 for Leominster. Through 1 here at Doyle Field. In the MIAA Division II tournament round of 32, it's the 2nd seed Leominster and the 31 seed Silver Lake deadlocked at 0. To the top of the 2nd inning we go. Middle of the order due up for Coach Savoy. 5, 6, 7. Finn Nista Holly due up in the inning for the Lakers. Great to have you along with us here on RFM. Great to be partnered tonight with the competing institutions and our friends at the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association. Building the future through interscholastic athletics. A break and we're back with more. Top of the second inning when we continue tournament baseball, and it's right here on RFM. To the top of the second inning we go here at historic Doyle Field in Leominster. Baez back on the mound. Connor Finn steps in, the lefty for the Lakers. And Baez fastball on the outer half for strike number one.
That's dancing.
Apparently Connor none the worse for wear after being checked out after the collision or whatever occurred over first base.
0-1, swinging bunt. Baez to field his position. He skidded. And it is an infield hit for Connor Finn.
That ball took a hard left turn right when Angel was ready to glove it.
Marked an error on the scoreboard.
Oh,
that's no
error. Absolutely
not. That's no error. Come on, Dick.
You gotta at least touch the ball in order for us to bill you an error.
He almost lost his shoes the way that ball took a hard left towards first base on him.
Tough official scoring.
That's a hit in my book for Connor.
We're calling it an infield single here on TV. The chopper back up the middle. Aquendo charges, tries to make the play in the tag, then the loose ball to the bag, and Massa may have gotten cleated there. There is a whole lot of developing situation up the middle, but Kate, what did you see?
Well, a couple of items. Second baseman attempting to make a play. Don't know if there was contact there, but the official putting the safe sign up before the play's even over.
It looked like it, yeah, and tough play there by Aquendo. I know he doesn't have eyes in the back of his head, but should have been looking towards first base that entire time.
And now the bunt shown by Holly. Both runners go. Casey snaps a throw, and it's into center field. Great backup by Reese Laura.
Beautiful backup.
Don't want to get careless here.
Called a ball at the plate, so 1-0 count on the batter.
And it's a designated hitter, Wes Hawley.
Zach Casey's going to call out signs now.
Runners on first and second. Nobody out here, top of the second inning, and the Lakers come off the field defensively, and all of a sudden got a spark here.
Quendo's going to take the runner at second. He's going to hold him on.
And he's holding him close first baseman-esque. He's right there at the corner of the bag.
Corners are in.
Breaks back, now the throw. They try the little pirouette pick. That doesn't work out, and it's still a 1-0 count.
More signs coming from Casey.
Aquendo wearing the full balaclava out there at second base tonight. I'm going to hesitate to guess he's cold.
I am.
Bill Thomas showed me 64 degrees at first pitch. Feels like upper 50s, though.
His BMI is impressively different than mine.
The 1-0 bunt into foul territory, and Casey kills that one behind home plate. It'll level the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
All right, so you got that traditional setup here. We've got both corners charging in on that bunt, so second base is going to have to be covered by your center fielder. You got both your middle infielders going laterally to first and third.
Everybody moving.
Everybody better be moving.
Wheel play in both directions. Massa trying to hold the runner. It's Finn at second. The bunt again. Hawley reached and he missed.
Nice high pitch right there. Great job by Angel Baez, knowing that's a bunting situation.
And so it's 1 ball, 2 strikes to the designated hitter, Hawley.
Changes everything now with 2 strikes. But Kate, do you keep the bunt on here?
I doubt it.
Or you swing away and hope for the best?
I think you have to. I think you have to swing away.
Swing
here.
for contact. See if you can move the 2 runners over. The 1-2 high swing and a miss.
And that was a beautifully executed at bat by Baez with 2 runners on like that to get that out in that situation. Essentially now, not only was that player's bat taken out of his hand, not able to execute, certainly not able to execute with 2 strikes. Now at least you have an out.
The pitch sequence was excellent.
Beautiful.
You know, just to add to that, Kate, takes the bunt off with 1 out, puts double play in action here, or at least look for the lead runner here, and
some communication.
You don't have to worry. You can play back a little bit more in the corners, not get eaten up by a hard ground ball.
Correct.
Second baseman Anthony Mealy comes up as a left-handed batter. He shows bunt and can't get it down.
For a base hit right there, but
down.
For our first-time viewers, Kate has affectionately known as the mean bunt lady.
Get the bunt down.
But,
if you're going to square up.
Nice job by Angel. A high pitch. That's probably the toughest pitch to bunt. He squared up a little early, and I think Angel had control of that pitch.
I agree, and put it high in the
was
zone.
able to whatever the pitch call was, location-wise, I think Angel had some control of that.
0-1 with 1, top of the second inning, 1 out. The pickoff at second base, and Massa comes in the back door to catch the ball from Baez. Count still 0-1 with 1 out here, and 2 base runners on first and second for the Lakers here. Top of the second inning in a scoreless ball game.
Blue Devil infield trying to keep the base runners honest, but let's get this out here at the plate.
Baez checks a look at Finn, sends the 0-1, high chop and foul, and the count will be 0-2 to Mealy at the plate.
Casey lucked out on that one a little bit. He was trying to locate it. It didn't stray that far away from home plate.
Mealy plays a right-handed second base and swings left-handed.
Could be a switch hitter, Todd. We don't know.
As they very much could be.
Could be a
ambidextrous people are
There has
people
been a lefty-heavy lineup that we've seen thus far for the Lakers. 0-2, high fastball well out of the zone. Casey up out of the crouch to make the catch. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out here.
Signs coming in from the coach, batter not looking at them at all, so hopefully they're for the base runners.
I think he's got an idea. He's got 2 strikes on him.
Yeah.
He doesn't care what the coach is telling him.
Here comes the game plan. The 1-2 pitch,
I got
chopped
this one.
foul into your living room.
Oh, I gotta fix the camera now.
Twisted it?
Yeah, no.
How much, Kate?
I work pretty hard over here as it is.
You can't see what you're doing there.
Oh,
though.
it's a guesstimation. We do guess and check
hold
over
on.
here in
You
the
said
box.
you had it.
Take a look
Oh,
at
I'm
it.
done. I'm fine.
Okay.
We're golden.
Good job.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here. Top of the second inning.
Crushed
Finn
it.
gets a look from Baez. The 1-2 breaking ball. Took a little off of it. Sent him to the dugout.
Steady diet of fastballs, and then a curve, unhittable right there, 2 strikes.
So back-to-back hits get the first 2 base runners on, and then it's swinging strikeout for Hawley and Mealy. And we're into the 9 hole for Mike Villanova. The left fielder comes to the plate, the right-hand hitter,
BT Dubs, I have the indicator.
to try to make something happen here.
I'm on this.
Breaking ball got the outer half for strike 1.
Baez doing a good job battling back here after those 2 infield hits. You can't let up on the 9 hitter though. You got to finish this inning off here defensively.
Baez ready, stares in. Villanova asks for time and steps out. Kate, of course, referring to the sign indicator that she is referring to. And Bill Thomas, what you don't know about Kate is that she took great pride as a player, both at the high school and college level, at picking signs.
And coaching.
It was the
Coaching.
0-1
Well, that's
fastball
part of the art
missed
of
high.
coaching, isn't it?
Loose ball, Casey up with it, keeps the ball in his general vicinity, and it's a 1-1 pitch. Kate, give us the...
No, I'm not giving
we need the Reader's Digest version of when your summer ball coach was coaching against you in high school. We'll need that. We need that story because that's a great one.
And you knew each other inside out.
And the story's great. I mean, this is what baseball storytelling is like. Baez stares at Finn. Ready now. Here's the 1-1. Cut on and missed. 1-2.
No, but for real. So my summer ball coach was coaching for Shrewsbury, and he never changed the signs from the summer. So I was at third base, and I would just mark where I needed to be based on the sign. It took them 3 innings, and then they had to go and change all their signs.
And the first base coach yelled at
She
him.
knows everything we're doing.
2 balls and 2 strikes. My favorite part of the story is when the first base coach says, "She knows the signs." Oh, no.
And the coach is like, oh, yeah, that's right. He's the coach her.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the second inning. Here the pitch. Breaking ball. Called strike 3.
Casey.
First 2 batters on, and then it's swinging strikeout, caught looking to end the threat in the top of the second.
That was a nice frame.
It's no runs on 2 hits, no errors, strand 2 for the Lakers in the top of the second inning. Huge play for Baez. 7, 8, 9.
He's
to
ready
get
to play
out
today.
of that inning. Indeed he is. Through 1.5 here at historic Doyle Field. It's Leominster nothing, Silver Lake nothing. To the bottom of the second we go. 5, 6, 7 due up in the inning for Leominster. Baez first to the rack. It's Baez, Godin, and Casey for the Blue Devils. Break and we're back with more. It's high school baseball tournament time, and it's right here on RFM. To the bottom of the second inning we go here on RFM in a scoreless 2 versus 31. Leominster and Silver Lake. Shao back on the mound after a commanding bottom of the first inning, and he starts off Angel Baez with a ball down, and the count is 1-0.
Have to see if Angel can bring some of that momentum he created on the mound with those 3 straight strikeouts, puts the ball in play.
The 1-0 pitch takes toward the gap in left center. Ranging over is Hackett from center field, and he will make the catch for out number 1.
Bill Thomas, I will say
David
both
Wright.
teams making contact
Decent
early
contact.
on. They're not putting their bats on their shoulder. They're not waiting and waiting and waiting. They're seeing a strike, and they're going right after it.
Well, Angel got in a little groove there to end the bottom of the top of the second inning, but I'll have to see what happens the second time through the order.
Tyler Godin comes to the plate. Shao's first pitch. He takes a mighty rip at that one, and the count is 0-1. Set off the top of the game, Godin was Leominster's leader in offensive categories. He has actually dropped into the second hole. Here comes the 0-1, ball down. So his lofty 467 batting average with a 541 on-base percentage and a slugging percentage of 800 has been bested.
Oh boy.
Here comes the 1-1. Ball down, 2 balls and a strike. Anybody on the broadcast want to take a guess who has bested him?
Would it be somebody named Mark?
Mark Garner, the freshman.
It's funny because I have a stat that I wish I could explain a little more, but when he comes up,
2-1. Godin checks
comment on it.
swing, goes towards second base.
The lip.
MIAA
Mind the
has
lip.
to adjust and makes the catch for out number 2.
That lip can get gnarly out there.
Indeed it could.
Yeah, I was going through my book. I got a stat on Mark when he comes up, but I wish I had more games. I've only got the last 3 with a new book, but a stat jumped out at me that I'm going to mention when he comes up to bat. And you could probably look back a little more and make the stat even more astounding after I tell you what it is.
Zach Casey steps in with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning, and Shao comes with strike 1, and the count is 0-1 from Shao.
Every time you say his name, I think that you're thinking you made a mistake on another word. But you're not.
The 0-1, breaking ball right back up the middle, and sliding play made by Quigley onto first, and a choice, a 50-50 coin flip, and the umpire settles on out. I'll tell you, on
gorgeous.
defensive effort alone,
Gorgeous.
it's a phenomenal play. Play-by-play call was better than the safe out we just saw at first base, but out, I think, ultimately is the correct choice. What a play by
Holy
Quigley.
cow.
Absolutely phenomenal. Quigley came out of nowhere on that ball back up the middle, got to his feet, and fired a bullet to Finn to retire Casey. 6-3 the putout. No runs, no hits, no errors. Strand none for Leominster. 2 complete here in the 2:31 matchup. It's Leominster and Silver Lake knotted at 0. To the top of the third we go. Top of the order for the Lakers. Hackett, Quigley, and Peterson do at the plate. Break and we're back with more high school baseball tournament right here on RFM. Top of the third inning here on RFM in a scoreless ball game. Leominster and Silver Lake. Great to have you along with us wherever you are. YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. This round of 32 matchup in the MIAA Division II baseball postseason. Top of the order, Shane Hackett takes a mighty hack at that one. The offering from Baez. Count is 0-1. Hackett, the center fielder, grounded out to Richard at first base in the first inning.
Bill Thomas, it's a scorcher out there today. You got your sunscreen on?
I tell you, I'm all right with this. I'm bundled up.
1-1. Letter high, inside out, down the line. Foul ball is the call. Just outside the line in right field, and the count goes to 1-2 for Hackett.
Just a strike.
Couldn't have been fouled by much. Look, tough look for us, but umpire's right on top of it.
Casey was mopping the brow. He's got the same look down the line going, phew. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to the leadoff batter, Hackett. And Baez, the full lineup and pitch. Up and in, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that lane's fair down there. Hackett might still be running.
Indeed he might.
Leadoff hitter.
2-2 the count to Hackett.
The Red Sox with their defense.
Into the corner there.
Just keep running.
2-2 breaking ball. That catches an elbow. And Hackett has got a hit by pitch and a leadoff base runner for the Lakers.
That's number 2 for Baez.
Number 23, Jack Quigley.
If you're
Sorry,
just joining
number
us,
of hit by pitches go the other way the other night against Tantasco. I think at least 4, maybe 5 hit by pitches incurred by the Blue Devils.
Get ready.
and that brings Quigley, the shortstop, to the plate. Grounded out to Oquendo at second in the first. Baez sneaks a peek. Knows where Hackett is. Settling the pitch. Hit on the ground, back up the middle. Oquendo, quick flip to Massa for one. On to first. Double play.
Hang him up. Nice turn
4-6-3 in the middle.
By Massa.
And Leominster's got 2 outs.
Nice turn.
Peterson.
Looked a little cumbersome there. I thought Oquendo was going to take that on his own. He was pretty close to the bag, could have ran through it. But,
yeah, but moving in the other
quick
direction.
flip, but
Smart
Throw
move.
back across. Yeah, give it up.
good move. close play there, but handled nicely in the middle.
Nay. Unless you have somebody lumbering, you need to give that to somebody moving in that direction.
4-6-3, 2 outs now for Leominster in the top of the third. Nick Peterson, the catcher for Silver Lake, at the plate. Hit by a pitch and stranded back in the first. 1-0. Fastball missed the outside corner, and the count is 2-0.
You know what I like about what Casey's doing? Not framing the ticky-tack stuff. Baez has essentially been right around the zone, only framing it when you're really looking for that called third strike. Doing a nice job.
And what he does is he frames it, but he's not pulling it. And every time you pull it, I mean, it makes it look like it's a ball that you're trying to steal.
Yeah.
You want to
even
freeze
if
it
it's
where
a
it
ball,
is.
well, just hold it. Let the umpire judge it.
3-0, down and away, and it's a 4-pitch walk for Peterson.
Second time Peterson's reached base, hasn't put a ball in play, but got himself a couple of on bases. First 2 at-bats.
2-out base runner once again. He was the 2-out base runner back in the first. And that brings Colin Montero to the plate. Struck out swinging in his first at-bat to end the first. Baez back at the stretch, the pitch. Through the glove of Casey. Stops on the grass, but the passed ball does allow Peterson to move up.
Yeah, right through Casey's glove right there.
Saw it on a couple of meaningless pitches back in the early part of the ball game, and now on a pitch that could have some meaning.
Can't let this 2-out base runner come back to haunt you.
And Montero wants out of the box, so he's going to step back.
You know how we talk about walks all the time. Usually they're leadoff walks, but any walk is not good.
1-0 fastball recorded for strike one. Count 1 ball and 1 strike.
Montero, the cleanup hitter here. Got to be careful with him. Strong third baseman.
Baez has not flinched once. He has attacked every spot in the order. Here's the 1-1. This one over the head. Gets away from Casey. He tries to wield. He will not. And that wild pitch will allow Peterson to advance 90 feet away with 2 outs here in the top of the third.
Here comes Coach Vowles to have a conversation. We need to settle some things down here defensively, gents.
Before we send the
I
ball to the
agree.
backstop and score the first run.
Got that right.
The last thing you want to do is give up a run here without a base hit. And,
Well,
Baez is doing everything he can to give it to him right now.
And Bill
But,
Thomas-
Casey got to grab those, too. I mean, it's a 50-50 problem here.
one of the bugaboos for this Leominster team all year is, especially in the first half of games, allowing their opposition to do this. 0-0. Sometimes they fall behind by a run. You see some, they're not necessarily playing defense to the best of their ability. Their bats are quiet. This has been a bugaboo all season long.
Absolutely.
This has been that hump they need to get over if they want to make that deep run into the playoffs, because what they're doing is with each inning that passes, you're essentially leaving yourself absolutely zero margin for error. And if you're going to make the defensive miscues, if your bats are going to be cold, that's going to cause problems. They need to be firing on all cylinders throughout the entirety of this playoff.
2-1 to Montero. Waved at and missed. Levels the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Baez looked a little more on point in that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Peterson stands down at third base. Baez, full windup, blows it by Montero and ends the threat.
What did Coach Vowles have to say in
Love
that
the
huddle?
conversation.
Whatever it was effective. Second swinging strikeout in the game for Montero. And Leominster is out of the inning. So it's no runs, no hits, no errors. Strand another one through 3 offensive innings. 4 left on base for the Lakers. Through 2.5 here at Doyle Field, it's Leominster nothing and Silver Lake nothing. Bottom of the third, Leominster will start with Garner. It's Garner, Aquendo, top of the order, and Richard due up in the inning for the blue and white. You're watching postseason tournament ball right here on RFM in partnership with the MIAA, building the future through Interscholastic Athletics. More to come, high school baseball, right here on RFM. And here comes Mark Garner to the plate to start the bottom of the third for Leominster. Garner sees the first pitch from Shao, and the count is 0-1. Garner's batting average through 9 games, a team-leading .500. His on-base percentage, .636. He's slugging .688. The 0-1 from Shao goes through the catcher, Peterson, to the backstop. Count 1-1.
Is this the part where I say, he's a freshman?
He is in fact a freshman.
He's only a freshman.
With a phenomenal
and if he gives
year
me
going
time,
right now.
If he gives me time here, I'm going to give you a stat.
1-1's up and away. 2-1. Well, Bill Thomas, it was called a tease in the industry. Last inning, you teased it. Now pay it off.
Here it comes. 3 games prior to this, Mark had reached base 9 straight times, 5 hits, 4 walks. Prior to him finally striking out on a full count, his last at-bat against Tantasco in the Somata Championship. But, you talked about who took over the batting leader, an on-base percentage. Last 3 games he's been impossible to get out. 2 doubles, 3 singles, 4 walks, 9 straight.
3-1 check swing, and it's ball 4.
9
They will
straight
check down
plate
the first.
appearances
It's
and
a
make
walk.
that 10 out of 11. Toss another walk, 5 hits, 5 walks. Reach base 10 out of his last 11 plate appearances.
Keep losing first base.
Absolutely incredible. So Garner, a leadoff walk for Leominster in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and it brings Alex Aquendo to the plate, the last of Leominster's lineup who have yet to have faced.
Here we go.
Not only
Shao.
the last word on Mark.
Aquendo, the bunt, straight back up the middle, killed it. Peterson out to field his position, throw and retires. Aquendo on the sacrifice by a step, but it moves Garner to second base.
Nice job right there. But just to finish off the Garner story, not only is he getting on base, but he's working the pitcher, full counts and seeing a lot of pitches on top of it.
Back to the top of the order goes Leominster, and Richard comes to the plate, grounded out to the first baseman Finn in his first at bat back in the first.
Beautiful execution on that bunt, by the way. Give
Yes,
credit where credit
the
is
bunt
due.
lady liked that one, I bet,
like
huh?
it.
Show's breaking ball is a waist-high strike, and the count is 0-1.
Killed it right out in front of the plate. Just far enough so the catcher is forced to go to first.
Richard looks very relaxed in there. Garner dancing at second, the 0-1. Shao rings that up for strike 2.
Working the outside corner very nicely.
First base just does not want to be on camera tonight. It's very shy.
There's a hard wind blowing up there in the upper atmosphere.
It's camera shy.
Here's the 0-2. Nice job by Richard to wait on that one. Pushed it just outside the line in right field.
That's when you hear, way to spoil.
Try
Spoil.
try another 0-2. And you've noticed that we've talked a little bit about the quick move that Shao has, and then he has that sort of slow, methodical one where he hangs somewhere in the leg kick. He'll settle in here at the chin. 0-2 offering. Breaking ball. Hit on the ground. Charging to make the play. Mealy on to first. Played by Finn, and it's a 4-3 putout. Backside of the play. Garner is able to advance to third base, and Leominster has a run 90 feet away with 2 outs.
Good job right there by Richard. A little inside-out swing, protecting, but getting the ball to the right side of the infield, moving that runner over. He's productive out. All right, we'll give him credit for at least getting the ball in play and moving Garner over to third base.
And that brings Tom Gosson to the plate, struck out swinging back in the first, and takes a mighty hack at that one, and he's in the hole 0-1.
Feels like April.
Indeed. Garner dances away from third, looking right at Shao, the righty. Strike 2, and the count is 0-2 to Gosson, and Shao has had a phenomenal 3 innings of work.
Can't swing at the ugly ones and let the pretty ones go by, though.
That's right.
That's kind of what's happened here, these first 2 pitches.
I know that's why I said
Spot on, Kate.
Shao ready at the letters. Here's the 0-2, and Gosson will live to see another pitch, but not by much. Count is 1-2.
That was gift wrapped to the bow.
Tough take right there, but it looks a little closer to us. Hitting the glove doesn't necessarily mean it was a strike.
And all the viewers in Kingston thought the same thing. Here's the 1-2 kick. Fouled up and out of play. He'll try another 1-2 offering.
Courtesy of that great home plate view that we're providing you.
I think they've got a case.
I love strike zones.
Shaw ready at the chin. Another 1-2 pitch with 2 outs. Gosson hit on the ground. Charging Quigley. Makes the play moving to his right. Crosses body throw. And the backhand pick by Finn records the out. 6-3 the putout to end the Leominster threat and strand a runner 90 feet from scoring. My, have these half innings mirrored each other time and time again. No runs on no hits, no errors. Strand 1 for the Blue Devils in the third. 3 complete here at Doyle Field. It's Leominster nothing and Silver Lake nothing. If you're enjoying high school baseball here on RFM, the summer has only begun. Of course, postseason action here to come. Yes, summer. You know when that's expected? June 21st.
November.
Due as always,
I'm
as
not
the case
trusting
may
the
be.
calendar this year.
No.
Calendar's out.
But we've been talking about it all year long, and we've reached the first week of Legion baseball here on RFM. Leominster Legion takes center stage Sunday. That's June 11th. It's a 5 o'clock first pitch. We'll have the action for you as Leominster Post 151 plays Milford Post 59 in the opening game of the Legion season at McLaughlin Park off of 117 in Leominster. We'll have that action for you here on RFM with a new partnership between RFM and Leominster Legion. We're looking forward to that action. Started to gather up some of the information today, working with head coach Jeff Dedian and the folks at Leominster Legion. And Bill Thomas, I was telling Kate, this, and we'll just tell the story on air. I'm trying to put all the, sort of the graphics together, and you're sort of looking at these communities, and you can like recite communities. Like you go Milford, Scarlet Hawks, they are red and white, always have been. Well, they're post 59. Yeah, not so much. Maize and blue. Looks like Michigan, as the case may be.
Well, you got to remember,
totally
when it
different
comes to
situation.
Legion, you're drawing from a region. You're not just
correct.
drawing from one town.
Correct.
You know, we're going to see some Blue Devils and some other players we might have seen opponents, but, you know, become teammates. And a nice mix of summer talent is what I'm expecting to see.
Indeed we will. So looking forward to that. Legion Baseball here on RFM in District 4 coming up this Sunday. That is the 11th of June, and we'll have that action for you here on RFM.
A joy.
To the top of the 4th we go. Baez back on the mound. The pitch misses down and in. And the count is 1-0 to the leadoff batter, Finn. Top of the 4th inning, 5-6-7. Finn Nista-Hawley due up in the inning for the Lakers. The 1-0 recorded as a strike. Baez fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Baez looks in at another lefty. Here's the 1-1. And this one inside outed by Finn. Foul. Finn reached on a single back in the second. Got a leadoff single to open up that second inning, but then got stranded at second base.
Yeah, that infield hit that eluded Angel Baez. Never got by the mound, but nonetheless.
1-2 is below the knee, and the count levels 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Did lead to that first and second base runners with no outs there in that first inning. Angel was able to work out of that.
Baez full windup 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground toward the shortstop Massa, plays at center mass, and across the infield he goes to Richard. 6-3 the putout for out number 1.
Seeing some good infield play tonight, Todd and Kate. At least the routine plays are being made. We had saw a couple of tricky hops, but routine plays for the most part are being made by both teams.
Here's what I've got through 3 and now a third of an inning that I've seen thus far. Division II, which we've known in other sports, though we've seen it throughout the year, as Baez starts Nista off with a called strike, and the count is 0-1, is that the difference between Team 1 and Team 32 in this postseason tournament is not that far. This 231 matchup, these two teams look very close, as Nista fouls this one to the third base dugout, and the count is 0-2. Nista reached on that mess of a, we'll